All right, this is SSL Family Dad with Simple Suburban Living, and today we're going to talk all about what we feed our chickens. All right, so what should you and what can you feed your chickens? There's so much information out there on this topic. There are just unlimited amounts of resources on YouTube and all over the web and things that have all kinds of conflicting information. So today I want to set the record straight on what we do. I'm not saying that this is the law and that everything I say is 100% scientifically researched, but I will tell you what we do, what works for us, and what I can tell you personally from my experience has been okay to feed the chickens. I'm not going to talk a lot about their feed, their grain feed. We do purchase a antibiotic-free. It's not a wholly organic feed. Price-wise, we've settled in with being okay with feeding them something kind of in the middle, a healthy food that's not 100% organic. Eventually, I would like to go with a DIY feed that I locally source here, and that will be something I will do down the road and make our own simple suburban living chicken food, and I'll share that with you guys once I have something worked out. This video is going to be more about food scraps, the other things, the supplemental food that we feed our chickens. And this was one of the things that really got us going with chickens. These guys are like the garbage disposal of our family. We have a partnership with them. They have a partnership with us. They provide us with healthy eggs every day, and we in turn give them a lot of our waste, a lot of our food scraps, a lot of things that used to go in the trash that now can go to some use. And we don't throw out anything in our home as far as organic matters. So anything that we use around our yard, anything we use in the kitchen, anything left over, anything like that, it either goes to our dog, our chickens, or in the compost pile. So what can you feed the chickens? You know, you've got food scraps, you've got these things left over, maybe some things are starting to go bad in the fridge or past their expiration, but they're not, bad yet or whatever. Can you feed it to chickens? Can you not? I'll talk about a couple kind of key things that are no-nos or are listed as no-nos out on the web, and I'll talk about what we do. Avocados, onions, potatoes, those are some things that people are listed as toxic to chickens. Apple seeds are another thing that are toxic to chickens. Citrus fruit, coffee grinds and tea bags and anything with caffeine in it, alcohol, which I don't know why you'd be feeding your chickens alcohol, but if you have leftover beer or something, don't feed it to your chickens, I guess. So those are some things that are listed as no-nos. However, I'll tell you this, I wouldn't worry too much about most of those things. Avocados, for instance, we have things that have avocado in them that we feed the chickens in small doses as scraps, that's fine. If you don't feel comfortable with it, put it in your compost and make it go to use either way. Onions, we have a lot of cooked foods that have onions in them, and we never, worry about that stuff. The chickens are going to get a little bit of onion. It's not a big deal. I don't think it's toxic to them in small doses, especially if it's cooked. Potatoes, they eat potatoes and different leftover things we have, and it's never been an issue. We are everything that we have that they can eat, basically everything that we would feed our kids or that we would eat ourselves will go to the chickens in small doses. Cereal is a big one. Dairy products are another one that's a big no-no for chickens, they'll tell you. However, again, all these things are up to you guys, but cereal is a big thing we have left over a lot, oatmeal and things like that sometimes we use milk in or regular cereal. And the cereal will absorb a lot of that milk. The kids will leave half a bowl of cereal on the table. Do you guys have this problem? No matter how much we feed our kids, little or big, they seem to always leave something left. So I don't know if that's an issue everywhere, but cereal will be left over. We'll take that and dump it in the bowl. And what we do is we just keep a little bowl here on the counter, and throughout the day that will get filled up with all of our leftovers and scraps and things. And then in the morning, generally our routine is we'll come out to the coop, dump this in. We got a little bowl that we left in here for them. Dump this in their bowl and collect the eggs. So it's kind of a trade in the morning. Here's some treats for you guys. They love the scraps. Here's some treats and thanks for the eggs. It works out really well. So a lot of things we feed them leftovers, like macaroni and cheese and stuff has cheese in it. We have organic macaroni and cheese that we feed them, or homemade macaroni and cheese that they'll get. And they love that stuff, and it's a treat to them, and we don't feed it to them every day. So the dairy product is not going to harm them. It doesn't make bad eggs. It doesn't any of that stuff. Here's the thing you need to remember. Anything that you eat, anything that you buy at the grocery store, remember this whole cycle. If you buy crappy food, if you buy junk, if you buy sugary processed food, you're feeding those scraps to your chickens. That stuff is getting back to you in your eggs. So remember that, you know, and it makes you think, because you're now creating an internal cycle in your home, a system where everything you put into it kind of stays in it a little bit longer. Everything you throw in the compost goes in your compost pile. If you have a lot of, you know, crappy food and chemical laced food and processed food or whatever you want to call it, you know, all your orange peels and apples that have been sprayed with stuff and skins of potatoes that have been sprayed with stuff, you throw that in your compost pile. Guess what, guys? That stuff composts for a while, goes in your gardens. Now you've got soil with all that stuff in it. You got to pay attention to the stuff that you're buying and the stuff that you're using on your home. So that's another topic, but keep that in mind when you're feeding stuff to your chickens. The two big ones, okay? Chicken, cooked chicken, and cooked eggs. This is a controversial one. I will tell you this, guys. There is nothing unhealthy that I can find, actually unhealthy, about feeding your chickens cooked chicken or cooked eggs, you know, scrambled eggs, leftover egg products, and things like that. There's nothing unhealthy about that. There is some people who don't feel comfortable feeding chicken back to their chickens, and that's totally fine. We don't really do that. We don't purposefully feed them chicken. Any chicken scraps we have go to our dog because the dog loves it, and that supplements her diet. But there's nothing fundamentally wrong with it in small doses. Again, you're not feeding them chicken as their main source of food. They're getting a little bit of chicken in leftovers and things like that. It's not unhealthy for them. The other common misconception and really just totally theory out there is that if you feed your chickens scrambled eggs or cooked eggs or leftover omelets and stuff like that, they're going to start to eat their eggs. It's just, I've not found this to be true at all. It doesn't make sense to me logically, and it's definitely not true with our chickens unless we have some kind of strange chickens. Chickens do not associate a cooked chicken egg, scrambled eggs or otherwise, with their laid eggs. They just don't. If you have problems with your chickens eating eggs, there are other issues probably going on. When chickens don't have access to food and water, they will sometimes eat eggs as a source of food for them because they're starving, basically. There are other habits and other problems with certain chickens and stuff like that, but it doesn't come back to just because you fed them a cooked egg. So that's just my opinion. I know there's lots of controversy on that, but we feed our chickens leftover eggs all the time in small doses. Again, they're getting little bits here and there, and it has never been a problem. So hopefully that gives you some ideas and a rundown of some of the things that we do and don't feed our chickens. I think the rule of thumb is if you would eat it yourself, it's probably fine for the chickens in small doses as treats and things like that. If it's moldy or rotten or just totally funky, don't feed it to them. You know, that's unfortunately something you got to waste and throw in the garbage. Catch your leftovers before they've gotten to that point. Maybe you don't feel comfortable eating it, but it's not bad yet. It's fine for them. Supplementing their diet with treats and with all this kinds of stuff. The chickens love it. It's a great way to lower your cost on feed, and it's definitely healthy for the chickens as long as you follow a few guidelines. So links in the description for some of the resources of the no-nos that I talked about. And again, we don't really follow that very strictly, and our chickens have been fine, so I wouldn't worry too much about it, but it's something to avoid in large quantities. So I'd love to hear your comments, guys. I know there's going to be some different opinions on this. Totally awesome. Let's hear everything. Let's hear what everybody has to say, and share that stuff down below. Hit thumbs up on the video, guys. It's always appreciated. It's a big deal to me that I get a thumbs up on the video if you found it informational or educational or entertaining in the least. So subscribe to our channel, guys. Hit subscribe on the button there below the video, or go over to our channel and check it out. Lots of stuff that we have coming out weekly, sometimes multiple videos a week, and hopefully you find that stuff interesting. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.